Happy video day, guys. Christina, Brooke here. Today, I'm going to be doing a tag video. I have not done a tag video in a long time that I can remember. Gosh, have I done a tag video? Like, did I do one last year? I don't even know. But I saw this one. I thought it was pretty cool. So Samantha March released this one. And I think that this was a collaboration with Ali Glines. And I remember seeing last year's. And I don't remember if I did it or not. I might have. So I sat down, took a picture of Samantha's description so I could see what the questions were. So basically there's a bunch of different questions that they came up with about different eyeshadow palettes and like, what's your favorite? What's your this? So we're gonna go through this. I'll be answering these questions for you guys. You guys are gonna see some of my favorites in here. I'm actually super excited to do this video. When I was looking through the questions, I was like, yes, this one, that one, this one. And I feel like I answered these like this. So guys, this is like, I know what I like, you know what I mean? So anyways, if you are new, don't forget to hit subscribe, join the family. Yeah, I would love for you to see more of my videos. And let's go ahead, let's start answering these questions. All right, so let's start off with question number 1, which I don't even remember what it was. I'm so bad with these. All-time favorite. Okay, so my all-time favorite eyeshadow palette, which I don't think, will this be a shock to you? Well, maybe some of you guys might think that this is a shock because I think a lot of people are going to think I'm going to say the gold palette, which I guess the gold palette is an all-time favorite, but it kind of got debunked by this guy, the Natasha Denona Glam palette. So like this has become my new like all-time favorite. Like I love this palette. I feel like it is just the perfect combination of cool tones, but there's also warmth in here. Every time I use this, I feel like I love the eye look, and that is not like the easiest thing to happen. Like sometimes palettes are just like really pretty, and I think you know what I mean, and you're like, damn, that's such a pretty palette. You buy it, and then you put like one look on your eyes, and you're like, that's so cool, and then every other time you use it, it's like either the same look or like nothing else looks good. This is not like that. I feel like everything always looks good when I use this one, so this has been my all-time favorite. It debunked my gold palette, which I'm actually hoping that Natasha comes out with a midi of the gold palette because I think that that could be my all-time favorite, like a revamped one without so many blues, you know? But anyways, let's keep going. I digress. My new favorite. Comment down below if you know which one it is. I think all of you guys like that follow me know which I'm gonna say, but it is the Nars Climax. I love this palette, and if you do not know, I did mention this already that Nars actually restocked this, so I will link it down below if it is still available. But guys, this was a limited edition palette. This is the best. So many people, like so many of you guys have contacted me and said, hey, I bought this because you mentioned it and I love it. And that does not always happen. Like so many comments coming in like religiously. This palette gets religious compliments. This palette gets constant compliments to me. So I know that not only I love this, but you guys love this too. This is my favorite. Like this was like the best palette I even tried last year. Like this is amazing. The colors, everything. Like just look at her. She's amazing. Okay. Keep for the memories. Now this one, I don't judge me because it's disgusting inside, but it is this palette. So this is the My Little Pony collab with ColourPop. Now, do I show you the inside of this palette? Okay, I'm gonna do this. It's disgusting. And that's because I know I didn't need this palette. I didn't actually even like the colors in it, but I bought it because it was My Little Pony. And okay, cut to, I literally was obsessed with My Little Pony until I was like 9 years old. I used to take them with me to school. I loved My Little Pony, which is actually super funny because my daughter now is obsessed with My Little Pony and she has all the little ponies and she carries them with her everywhere. And it's kind of just like how I was. And this palette, because I loved it so much because I bought it because it was My Little Pony, I let her play with it. So when she comes in my room wanting to destroy all my Natasha Denona palettes, which she's already gone into a few of them, Metropolis being one, this is the one I give her. So if you guys can see, this disaster inside is because what she does is she likes to stick her finger in all of them and then put them on her lids. But I keep this basically for the memories of My Little Pony because I love My Little Pony, and I just basically found a reason to keep it, which is to let Lexi use it when she tries to like steal my stuff, you know? But I loved My Little Pony. Right, so an underrated palette, and I don't even know if they still sell this. I think they do. I don't know. The Dose of Colors Cutting Edge. This palette is so good. It's broken, as you could see, but this is such a beautiful green palette. And I use this so much when it first came out. I love every look I do with this. Like, it's just so pretty. And I feel like a lot of green palettes have come out, but nobody comes out with like this perfect green color, which they did so good. And then also this metallic is just like, they created such a pretty palette. And even the colors that I have on my lid today, like this is from a green palette, which you guys will see in this video too, but it doesn't like even live up to how fun and pretty it was to play with this guy here. Like, this guy is just so pretty, and I do not believe that this got so much attention. Like, did people even really talk about it? I don't know, but it's such a good green little palette. It's missing colors, like it's not like perfect, but the quality and the color combinations, I don't know, comes out with really, really pretty lids. Not a favorite, but can't get rid of. Okay. Don't hate me, okay? Don't hate me, but it's not a favorite, okay? So I realized that this wasn't a favorite when I did my 5-day challenge, and I noticed that a lot of my looks come out so pinky. And you know, like, just looking at it, I should have known that this is like more of a pinky-ish toned palette, but I don't know why. I kind of like convinced myself that because there was like these colors here that this was not gonna always go pink. But my lids always go so pink. And yes, like the thing that I love the most is these glitters on the end, but I don't wear glitter that much. So I can't like justify this price point, you know? And the quality is pretty, it's good, but it's so much better if it's colors that you like to wear and you're using this all the time. I hardly touch it. But like, I can't get rid of it because it's like I paid so much money for this packaging and the formula, but I mean, like, this is just like, I can't get rid of it because it feels like I'm dumping $100 and something, and that's not gonna happen. So I'd rather it just be a decoration for now. But yeah, it's sad. I mean, it's not a bad palette. It actually has very good quality, has really pretty colors, but it's just not me, you know? So favorite collab. To be honest with you guys, like, this was a little bit of a hard one because I think we all like the Jaclyn Hill palette. Like, I think that that has always been like a staple collab. Like, that was just such a good palette, right? But one of the ones that I really loved, and I don't feel like this even got that much attention, and it's because during the time of this, so this is the Carly Bible collab with Anastasia, when she released this palette, Anastasia like went crazy and released like 10 other collabs the same year. Like, I'm exaggerating, but there was so many collabs that year that I feel like every collab only got like 2 months of attention, and that's not enough, you know? So I think that the Carly Bible palette got attention, but it was like overshadowed. But this was such a pretty, pretty palette. Yes, everything looks light, but it just, everything works so pretty. And I feel like all the looks I did with this, everything just looks like a princess, like a pretty princess. And I see Carly in here. Like, I felt like this was a collab that looks like the collaborator. And I also love the packaging. I thought it was so pretty and dainty. I really, really enjoyed this palette. And I actually, every time I pull it out to use it, I come out with really, really pretty looks. So far, I guess that has been my favorite collab that I could think of. All right, so 2021 favorite, sorry, but this is gonna show up again because this was my favorite. So like, this was my favorite from 2021. I think at the end of the year, this was my favorite. So yeah, Climax palette. This is amazing. All right, so I did not expect to love this, okay? And I kind of do. And I've said this a few times, Circo Loco from Natasha Denona. This is like that really colorful palette that you see and you go, what was she doing? Like, was 2020 just such a crazy year for her? I feel like this 2020 or 2021? I think it was 2020 that you're like, what happened to you? Was this 2021 or 2020? I don't remember what year she released this, but I feel like everybody was kind of like, what is going on? But man, this has been such a fun palette to use, and I really love it. The quality of these shadows are perfect for me. They have a lot of pigment to them, but they're not exaggerated pigment. These metallics sweep on your lids, and I feel like every look that I do that's colorful, I just think Circo Loco has to come out. And I have come out with some beautiful Instagram looks, especially Instagram, because you know, on Instagram, it's all about the colors, and you know, when you take pictures, anything that's colorful is really gonna draw somebody in versus more neutral, boring looks, you know? So colorful looks on Instagram, this is like the palette that I use. It's just everything saturated, pretty. I don't know, it's such a good palette. And I will tell you, if you're somebody who doesn't like color, just using one wash of this color all over the lid, like an orange all over the lid, and faintly put the same color metallic in the center. Beautiful eye look, but you're not mixing a bunch of colors, and it just does the job. I really like this palette. So if you're scared of color, but you want to have one colorful palette, Circo Loco I think is the way to go. All right, so a palette that sparks joy, and it has to be this one. So this is the Rose Quartz from Huda Beauty. I just feel like this is such a pretty palette. Like when you want to do like those princess, airy, pretty looks, like this one just gives that to you. Like anytime I use this and I do an eye look, I'm always like, oh, like it's like refreshing. It looks so pretty. Like I really like this palette, and it's like a happy palette. Like this to me is like happiness in a palette. Like it just feels like such a happy palette. And I also think that since all the colors, like they just all look so pretty together. Like doesn't this just make you happy when you look at it? The glitters are so, like all of these like metallics, they're just like, look at that, like that just makes me happy. Like, so the newest palette in my collection is actually the one I have my eyes today. I'm finishing up my 5-day challenge with the Wild Greens. So this is from Urban Decay. So this is my newest palette. I just finished adding it. Was it last week? I think it was last week. So I've been playing with this one nonstop to give you guys my final verdict. If you guys are new, I do a 5-day challenge on new palettes and also palettes in my collection where I use them for 5 days straight in order to give it to you guys straight and tell you exactly the truth about them. And I have been using this guy for 5 days straight. So pretty soon you guys are going to be having my final verdict on this. But yeah, I have really enjoyed it. But I will tell you, I think that some of the looks that I come out with are always so pretty. So it is a very interesting palette. It's cool that we're finally going in a green direction, and I also think it's cool to kind of get an idea of what is to come for spring, because I feel like a lot of palettes are going in this direction. I'm kind of happy for that, because you guys know I really love green, especially like lighter sages and dark greens. Like I love them. I don't like neon-y greens on the lids, at least, even though today I kind of like this look, but this isn't like neon. Last question. We've got the first palette that I used in 2022. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The end of 2021 was terrible. Maybe one day I will do a story time, or I don't know. I'm still trying to process the end of 2021, to be honest. The beginning of 2022 is kind of a blur, but I believe that it was this palette, and because I kind of remember at the end, like around Christmas time, all the way into New Year's, like I was trying to do a 5-day challenge on this, and I felt like I had to keep on using it and using it and using it. And then after I used the mini Metropolis, so like I'm confused on whether I used this one in the beginning of 2022 or if it was the mini Metropolis. Like I literally don't know. It's one of these two. But I'm gonna go with this one because I posted this video on January 3rd. So possibly January 1st I use this one. I honestly have no clue. But it's either this one or Mini Metropolis, okay? And both of them were cute. And of course, Natasha's like my favorite brand ever. So at least I started off the year using my favorite brand. But yeah, that's this eyeshadow palette tag. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this tag? I think it was pretty cool, right? I think Samantha and Allie Glines both did a really good job with this tag video. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video because there's no more questions. And there's not a lot of times at the end of a tag, like I'm like, where are the rest of the questions? Like I want to keep going. Like I feel like this was so fun. But yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Leave your comments down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.